18th from the WVU Coliseum. Run along now, Chip. It was past time you was in bed, says Mrs. Potts.
I was waiting. I was waiting for something.
Jordan Titus and Peter Chacon and 141, and Titus on the board quickly.
Well, Titus with a more traditional takedown, like an actual shot and a good job of getting to the corner and getting the takedown that way.
Go back into it. Hips back into the leg. There you go. Now we short sit. Push back up.
Titus with a couple wins already today. He was 4-0 last weekend at the Southeast Open. Placed 7th in the Big 12 last year against Peter Chacon from just up the road in Pittsburgh. A graduate of Montour High School. I've seen a few Montour shirts and hoodies today in the crowd.
There you go. Nice.
Was 0-3 last weekend. Put up a strong showing against Rutgers. The other two, a major decision in a tech fall. Chacon shoots low. Titus with a counter shot.
He's going to try to do the same thing he's done the last couple of times, and he
doesn't get the leverage for the roll.
See Chacon really doing a good job of trying to base out, but he finally pops him over as he readjusts the next time.
It's a lot of torque on your lower back.
Yeah, I just...
And 4 for West Virginia. That's why you do it. You do it because that's a 7-point move, essentially. You get the near fall points.
Right. I'm probably going to end up with a stalemate here.
The abdomen and the back, I feel like it would be really tough to do that on those particular parts.
So he's done this in all 3 matches so far, and he's had, I think this is his fourth time. This time was a little more difficult, but he finds a way to get it and pop it over.
Back to live as Titus up 9 on Peter Chacon.
I just don't think that's a good consistent way that you want to score now.
His head coach Glenn Lanham was telling us earlier this week one of the things they worked on in light of his last weekend was just leaning on his conditioning, because he said his conditioning was better than many of his opponents, getting to a shot quicker, not hesitating, working on your fakes, things like that. Chacon's got him up and land on Titus's left hip.
And technically, Titus is still considered being in control, right?
No green. Peterson.
Titus trying to wrestle through.
Well, he's trying to see if he can pull him up over the top of his head, right? See if he can put him on his back that way. We're going to get a stalemate called.
I think Chacon's almost flailing his arms out as if to say, hey, no mas. He's trying to draw that stalemate.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt he's going to give up, though, but, you know, that a couple seconds left here in the period.
Sit back towards it. Short 6.
3, 2, 1, time.
Jordan Titus won the first period with 2:14 in riding time.
Green down.
It's a good chunk of time on top, man, and that's making somebody carry you for that period of time.
Tim Flynn with a glance over at the other mat where there's another match going on. An extra match, an exhibition at 141.
And there's one of the things that Titus loves to do a lot is sort of that Granby roll off of a stand-up. He does a stand-up when the guy goes to mat return him. He tries to roll that through and therefore executes it really well and gets himself a reversal.
Chacon and Titus in the foreground. How about this? It's like exhibit on Pimp My Ride. We know you like wrestling, so we added wrestling to your wrestling. Two bouts in one.
Optional start. Optional.
Yes.
One red.
Titus grows the lead. 12-2. 90 seconds left in the second. Chacon's still shooting.
He's on that same leg. Titus, I assume, is going to try to do the same thing.
Titus's ankle was in a really bad spot when it was lifted. Chacon gets the trip.
He's got that shin whizzer in. I know he feels real comfortable there. Chacon hasn't seemed to have felt like it been in a good spot where he's trying to
Titus is under the crotch.
Oh, that's a stalemate waiting to happen
Hold the ankle
there.
down over your shoulder.
Can we stalemate
Ankle down over
that?
your shoulder. Hey, we talked about this. That swim. Swim over.
Tony with a direct line into the officials.
Well, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
They weren't moving. So this is where I would love to see Titus do a little better job from a defensive standpoint on the front end and getting his offense, getting to his offense a little bit better. He's going to need it. He's going to need it as the year goes along. And it's not like he doesn't have it. He does some really nice stuff. Like that. It's a good shot. Going to sit out, right? That's perfect. Going to turn toward it. That's definitely in danger.
Time may be the biggest issue for Jordan Titus in the second period. He'll run out of time this period to finish off what he's trying to do. And that's really been the emphasis from Tim Flynn, is to make sure that Titus has that confidence in what he's doing. He really feels strongly that Titus is doing a lot of the right things. It's just being persistent with that and understanding that if you're doing a lot of the right things, you might not be seeing the results, or you might not have seen the results in the past, but they're going to come.
Yeah, and I think he does some really great stuff. And I saw Coach Flynn a little shot there, just sort of imploring him to be a little more physical, right? To really kind of go after it a little bit instead of kind of playing around and doing some. Instead of burying him and really ending the match, right? Leaving people out there when you don't have to. You got a chance to be dominant, be dominant. He does some nice stuff. Gets under the arm, does a good thing there. Turn. So he's in the same position they were when they ended the last period. They had a stalemate, right? He's got his legs a little deep. Sitting on top of him.
Titus was going to roll. Watch him try to roll this through.
He really likes to do that. He likes to turn and roll. He does a lot of that stuff, and he's good at it.
That is a full body move. You're using your upper body to push off the mat and your lower body to take the other guy with you.
They're all kind of like that, I suppose. There aren't a lot where you're leaving one body part without doing much of anything, even if it's like a balancing. See, look at that, just an opportunity from that duck under standpoint. He's quick enough to get into those spaces. He just needs to work on finishing some of those things a little bit different, a little cleaner. And being able to work, we talked about it before, position to position, be able to improve that position.
It's definitely an emphasis in the Duke wrestling room. That's something that Glenn Lanham says. Win the position. If you're on your back, get your stomach. On your stomach, get your knees. Your knees, your feet. Your feet.
Right. Keep
Take the other guy
position.
down. Yep, absolutely.
We got 9 seconds left. He's got that shin whizzer, and I know he feels really comfortable there.
Titus is able to get out of it. He'll win his third of the day. He and Jet Strickenberger become the two Mountaineers who've swept the day. Strickenberger defeats Peter Chacon out of Pittsburgh. Chacon gave it